Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sick of Shit Broadcasting. I'm the host of this program. Yours truly, Mr. Sick of Shit. Why? Because, just like you, I'm sick of this shit going on in this country and around the world. Especially here. Because, well, this country is where I live. Personally, I have a very different way of looking at the country these days. A lot of people still consider this region of the world, we'll put it that way, to be a united, right? All these 50 states, territories, and what have you. I don't see it that way anymore. I haven't for quite some time now, really. I do not see this region of the world as being a union. I see it as being a fallen, what used to be a union, and what is likely going to, in the not too distant future, become broken in many ways. Not just economically, but the broken political aspect, I believe, is going to eventually either break up into 50 or more autonomous countries, which is what all of these states are supposed to be anyway. Or it's going to eventually wind up breaking up into regions that will become new countries made up of multiple states. That's what I see happening. I figure Hawaii, Alaska, California, and Puerto Rico will likely become independent, autonomous countries. Which, as I said, that's what all the states are supposed to be anyway. A union of countries is what they're supposed to be. Kind of like the European Union, it's what it's supposed to be. But people see it very differently. That's because that's what we have been brainwashed to believe it to be, that a state is somehow less than a country, but it's not. That's why when the media refers to the state of Israel, which is a country, what is a country? A country and a state are one and the same. That's the way it's always been. Not really terribly concerned about the Constitution of the Union as much as I am about the Constitution of Kentucky, which is far more difficult to get a copy, for some reason, of the Kentucky Constitution than it is to get one of the Constitution of the United States. Imagine that. At any rate, we've got a lot going on out there, folks. A lot going on. Most of it, I'm sure you're already aware of. I'm going to suggest that you guys listen to Canadian Prepper if you want to get an in-depth analysis on the Ukraine situation, as well as the Chinese situation, or should I say relations between U.S. and Russia, U.S. and China. Very strained at this point, that's all I'm going to say. He goes into a much greater detail about it. Of course, you're going to be listening anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes, maybe longer. But he goes into a very good description of what's going on. He even has people from the government, sometimes former military. Some very, very good interviews. He did one this morning, or yesterday, I'm not sure exactly when he posted it. I listened to it this morning. And he was interviewing a man who is the owner, I believe, of a freeze-dried food company. Not a bad one to listen to. I would actually recommend it. The food, I'm sure, is impeccable. But it's kind of pricey. I felt like it was. At any rate, you got to do what you got to do the way you feel is best for you to do it. that I want to suggest to everybody who's going to listen is, if you are able, and I've said this before, but I can't stop reiterating all this, if you are able to get you some property, I mean some land, preferably a significant piece of land, like I would say 5 acres or more, but not everybody can afford that. If you can manage to get at least 2 or 3, that would be a good idea. I would suggest a pond. Get it stocked now while you can fully with fish of every kind. You're going to need both predators and prey fish for balance in your pond. You don't want too many of either one. I would definitely suggest getting chickens. I would strongly advise goats or sheep, or potentially both, because you can get great milk from them just like you can from a cow, and they're smaller and a lot easier to care for, a lot easier to feed. As I've always said, get as much organic vegetable seed as you can. I would strongly recommend as much organic grain seed as you can, because you're going to need something to feed your chickens, turkeys, rabbits, if you want to have rabbits, and your sheep and goats. Of course, they all need to be properly housed, where they're going to be safe and comfortable. And you need adequate shelter of some sort. You know what's best for you. But all these things I strongly recommend. I have not yet gotten started out here with the gardening. I need to do that soon. I am going to soon be moving out here. Hopefully soon, anyway. I haven't been on for the last couple of days since I came back because it's just been too cold here. I wasn't sure if it was going to be warm enough today, but fortunately it is. Nice and sunny, pleasant weather. So this is my own personal advice of what to do, what I feel people should do. And also, I would strongly recommend, if you can afford to get gold by the gram, do it. If you can't, then definitely get as much silver and copper as you possibly can. My personal favorite to buy online is silver.com. They don't always have exactly what I want, but they've always got what's needed. So, till next time, enjoy what you can while you still can, because we don't know how long it's going to be before there's not very much left in this life to enjoy. Till next time, Mr. Sick of Shit, signing out.